guys, welcome back to the third session with me with chair yoga. These classes are for seniors, but they're also for anybody who has any kind of limitations or just wants a bit of a gentler approach to yoga. I wanted to take a minute to thank Amherst Media for airing these great classes, especially during this time, to really help people boost their immune systems and keep everyone nice and healthy. As far as my students at the Bang Center in Amherst, I just want to tell you all that I miss you and I hope you're doing well. Okay, so for this class, like the other ones, make sure you have a chair without arms, so the sides have to be open, and a strap. We may or may not use a block, and again, if you don't have a strap, if you just want to use like a karate belt or a tie, that's fine too, anything will work. So make sure you have all your props, and you can pause the video. And like I said, we're going to start laying down. Take as much time as you need. And remember that you always want to listen to your body. While these classes are very gentle, you want to make sure to check with your doctor that gentle yoga exercises are okay. And of course, if something doesn't feel right, make sure to kind of abstain. Even if you do 80% of the video, you're still getting a lot of benefit. Okay. When you're ready, let's start laying down on the ground. Your feet are wide and your knees are touching. So in other words, it kind of looks like a little tent. Let your palms face up. And we're going to start with just some gentle breathing. So we're going to close our eyes. And when you're ready, inhale through the nose and fill your belly like a balloon. Feel your chest rise and fill your throat. On your exhale, also through the nose, empty your throat. Feel your chest fall, belly draws down towards your spine. Inhale, fill from the bottom up. Exhale, slowly emptying from the top down out through the nose. Good. Do 4 more rounds of that. Inhale very slowly, breathing in like you're filling the bottom floor, middle floor, top floor like an elevator rising. And then exhale like an elevator descending, emptying the top floor, middle floor, bottom floor. 2 more. Inhale. Good. Exhale. Slowly out. And 1 more. Inhale, filling. Exhale, emptying. On this last one, let's do a little sigh. So inhale, fill up. Just flushing out some stress. 1 more. Inhale. Good. So this really sets the rhythm, this nice breathing for your practice. Your muscles are relaxed and heavy. And then let's start with some neck rotations. So when you're ready, you kind of want to start with your head really centered. And so it's normal to kind of do the head rotations where you just flop the head over from side to side, but we're going to show you a better way. So maybe come right here, Eli. I want to thank my cameraman, Eli, for all his patience and his dedication. So what you want to do is while you slide your head over to the left a couple inches, you then want to drop your right ear down. Take a deep breath in. So I'm mirroring you guys, right? And then on your exhale, slide your head over to the right a little bit as you drop your left ear down. So in other words, you're getting a very good stretch like a chiropractor would adjust you. So in other words, if a chiropractor were to adjust you, they wouldn't just like crack your neck to the side like this. They'd first draw your head over and then give you that nice adjustment. So as you can see, the crown of my head stays right over the rest of my spine. So let's just do a few more. So again, let's draw the head to the right as the left ear presses. Take a deep breath in, send a lot of prana right up the vertebrae. Feel each vertebrae clear. Good, and as you exhale, draw the head over to the left as your right ear drops down. And a little press is okay as long as you have the range for it and everything feels open. Good, keep going, couple more. So you're sliding the opposite way that you're turning to get that beautiful full rotation. Never straining, Juicy stretch is good, and the breath, you're just breathing all the stagnant chi away. You're clearing each disc, each vertebrae. Good. The next thing we're going to do for the neck, to open that up, because that was requested, is let's make a little pillow with the hands under the head. Now, if rotator cuffs are an issue, you don't have to put the hands under the head. You could have your arms by your side. Either way, you want to tuck your chin to chest, and you're just pressing your head down, with or without the hands here. The elbows are relaxed, the shoulders are soft if you are using the pillow made by the hands. And as your chin is tucked to chest, press the head hard down. Breathe for 3, good. You're plugging down the whole time, good. 2. Sending a lot of prana up that cervical spine. Good, 1 more. The neck is like an open straw, an open column, and your chi is just flowing right through that. Good, beautiful. And then release. So while we're here, let's do something that's kind of similar, but it's more for the low back. So we're going to just kind of press the low back down into the ground like we're plugging a plug into a socket. Relax the shoulders. Again, tuck the chin slightly to chest. Keep plugging low back down. Core is firm. Belly is firm for 3. Good. This is good for empowering and strengthening pelvic floor muscles, core, and low back. Beautiful. It's also like we tend to do a lot of rounding with our upper back, and then that means that the lower curvature in the back takes the brunt of a lot of that. So by flattening it out and pressing that into the ground and against that nice flat hard surface, it's really doing a lot of repairing. Good. Release. Okay, so for this next one, we're going to come back to neutral. And notice that my feet are wide, because whenever I tell students to do that, sometimes they go and they bring their feet back in and they do this. That's not what we're doing. We're going to keep our feet nice and wide, and then really gently for the hips, just to warm up the hips, we're windshield wipering the knees side to side. Now, if you know that one of your hips is pretty tight or maybe has some limitations, you don't want to go all the way. Only go all the way if it feels good. This is a great way as we're hinging the hips open and shut, just to gently loosen any stiffness at the joints, ligaments, and tendons, right? Breathe with this. Inhale. This should feel great. Exhale. Big. Inhale. Flood prana right in. Yeah, and if your head wants to kind of go the opposite direction that the knees are going a little bit, this is just a nice feel-good movement. Let's just do this for another breath or 2. Notice that you're also massaging the fascia underneath the low back. So we were just plugging that low back down and strengthening and empowering those muscles, and now we're just kind of giving them a little nice warming massage. Good. Same thing, we're going to keep massaging, but now if you can, pull the feet away from the ground, hands are on the knees. And instead of just rocking the knees side to side, think about it more like you're drawing the letter U on the ceiling. So in other words, you're squeezing your knees around and into one shoulder, and then around and into the other shoulder. Breathe with it, make it feel good in your body. That's the most important thing. This is also very good for kidneys. Good. Inhale. Beautiful. Exhale. Last 2. Inhale. Exhale. Last 1. Inhale. And exhale. Release. Take your arms wide now and take your right ankle on top of your left thigh. If what I just said doesn't make sense, just look at me. Good. Your right foot is flexed, and it's not the foot on the thigh, it's truly the ankle. The knee is pressing forward, and really gently, just to loosen things up here in the right hip, just a little light rocking side to side. Take a deep breath in as you loosen this up, and exhale. You might choose to stay here now and just breathe as you press that knee away from you towards the front of the room. Or option 2, pull the whole shape into chest. You're going to really feel it behind the glutes on the right side. behind that right hip. If it's too much strain, always can come back a step. This might be enough here. You might even want to loosen it up by rocking a little here. Or option 3 is you interlace behind the left thigh. Your right foot is up, you're interlacing behind the left thigh, the opposite. When we go for the reach, sometimes our chin pops up. Tuck that chin back down to chest, maintain good alignment. And breathe into that right hip. Send prana there. Flood the chi channels open for 3. So good. 2. Last one. And release. Good. As the right foot comes grounding and anchored down, the left ankle comes on top of the right thigh now. This might be plenty. Again, remember I always say that hips are more like kids and not twins. So don't treat them like twins because they're very different sometimes and their needs are different. Awesome. And if you need more, option 2, maybe just bring it in, a little freestyle, breathing into it. Option 3, the interlace. Choose what's right for you. Remember that learning is different for everyone, right? Where that benefit will be, where that learning will be, is always where we are a little bit challenged, but not frustrated. Where we feel a good juicy stretch, but not strain. So find where that is for you and honor that. And you will always be right at the edge, right where the growth is. Good. Take another breath. So nice. And then release. Good. For this next one, we're going to need a strap. Okay, so once you have your strap, go ahead and take the midpoint of your strap around the ball of your right foot. Take the 2 ends, join them together as one, and then slide your right hand a little higher than your left. The flexibility of your hamstring means that everyone's will look a little different. So if your hamstrings are really tight, it might kind of look like this. As long as you're feeling a good stretch here is all that matters. Now, if your hamstrings are pretty open, you might want to stretch your left leg out straight rather than keeping your foot flat. And this will add a little more resistance, and you'll feel it right away kind of deepen. So when you're ready, with your shoulders relaxed and your chin tucked to chest slightly, heel pressing to the ceiling, breathe into this. Inhale, flood prana right up that leg. On your exhale, feel that nice release of tension. It's a great way to release stress, opening your hamstrings. Bring a big inhale of prana right into the stretch. And then exhale, flush out all the tension, all the stagnant chi. 2 more times, inhale. Remember to breathe with the belly, nice ujjayi breathing. Good, last one. Good, and then so when you're ready, you want to hold on with just your right hand, draw your left arm down. You might just windshield wiper a little bit like baby swipes, right this. Really kind of loosening up the ligaments and tendons. If you have, your hip is kind of open and ready for it and you have more range, you can certainly go nice and wide here, nice and broad. Breathe into this, make this feel good. So those of you who this is plenty, stick with that. I'm going to show you guys who want a little more, something a little bit deeper. So those of you who want a little bit more, and it's appropriate for you, you want to kind of slide this leg a little more open. Let out as much slack as you need to make a 90-degree angle with your right elbow. And once you find the ground with that right elbow, let the leg kind of hang off of the strap. You're going to feel a real nice juicy stretch in the inner right thigh. Your left knee is staying nice and anchored down. The hip is not lifting up on the left side. And then take a deep breath in. As you exhale, a little surrender. Keeping the knee nice and straight, heel pressing, inhale. On the exhale, really just soften and melt into it. Good. Come back to center. And switch hands, and this is again for those of you who want a little more. You're going to let the left knee flop out to the side. You're going to then lift your right hip up and over. Let again a little slack out so that your left elbow this time makes the kickstand. And then as that leg is kind of across your body, it's a little bit of a twist as well as a juicy hamstring stretch. So again, inhale, the heel presses to the side wall. And as you exhale, the leg is hanging heavy, dissolving into it. Big inhale, nice and active with your nice long lines. On the exhalation, just melting right into it energetically, kind of softening. Good. Inhale. And then exhale back to center. And again, that was just for those of you who want a little more. Maybe not appropriate for everybody. Interlace your fingers around that knee. Give the toes a nice swish. Help release that. And while we're at it, why don't we take the right hand on the knee, and that is creating some little circles here for the hip in both directions until that hip feels nice and even more loose. Good. Right foot is going to be your anchor on this side. Strap goes around the ball of your left foot. Make the two ends into one. Walk the left hand a little higher than the right. Find where it's right for you. Heel presses to the ceiling, chin tucks slightly to chest. Maybe this right leg is straight for a little more depth. Totally up to you. Never sacrifice support for range, right? So always keep it nice and supported, nice and safe. That's more important. Breathe here. Inhale. Exhale. So nice. Big inhale, flood prana right into that hamstring. Your exhale, just flush out all the tension, all the stress right from that nice hamstring. Good. One more. Inhale. So good. Right hand drops down, windshield wiper that leg side to side. And you guys are breathing long and slow the whole time. It's hard for me to demonstrate that while I'm talking, but the real union, the yoking of mind-body that happens in yoga, it's like the breath is the bridge of that, right? So the breath joins the mind-body connection, the soul of the practice with the body. Maybe you're going wider here. That's option 2 if it's okay on your hip. And again, only an option 3, you let a little slack out, elbow makes a kickstand. And as the leg stays nice and straight, heel presses to the side wall. On the exhalations, allow a little dissolving into the stretch. Breathe in, never straining. Exhale. So nice. Good. 2 more. Last one. And then bring it over to the other side. Switch hands. First, the right knee drops over, then the left hip lifts up and over. Right elbow then finds the ground as a kickstand. And as the heel extends brightly towards the right side wall, then a little surrender into it. Help it keep it sustainable for 3. Everything feeling good. 2. Prana flowing, chi channels open. Very nice. Last one. And release. Good. And again, as you move the strap out of the way, interlace the fingers around the knee. Nice little counter stretch. Toes swish around. Ankle loosening. And then with the left hand on the left knee, little circles for the hip in both directions. Inhale. Exhale. Good. One more time. Inhale. And exhale. Let's stretch the legs out long. Point the toes. Arms overhead, hook the thumbs, low back presses down into the ground. Feel the whole length of your body. Inhale from tips of the fingers to toes. And on your exhale, either gently roll over to one side and come up to seated on your mat gently, or if it's okay and it feels good, like a good massage, grab under the thighs and rock and roll, massaging from shoulders to sit bones. This is, of course, optional. Good. Once you're up to seated, let's just stretch the hamstrings a tiny bit more. We really want to find our sit bones. And for those of you with very tight hamstrings, you want to have your fingertips kind of behind you. You want to puff your chest up nicely, but keep your tailbone down, belly pit in, crown of the head lifted. This is enough. With tented fingers here behind me, I'm pressing into them and feeling my belly lead, then the chest follow, maybe the head last, very slightly into my hamstrings. For many of us, this might not be enough. In that case, hands are either on the shins, towards the ankles, maybe hooking toes if the range is there. The strap is also really useful here. You can join the 2 feet together as one, the strap ends together as one, and just walk down for that nice little hamstring stretch. Keeping the back not rounded, but nice and flat is essential here. Breathe into it for 3. So nice. Maybe even just kind of rocking the torso to loosen up the tight ligaments and tendons. Oh, so nice. Last one. Release. Good. We're going to come up to seated next. All right, so once you guys have your chairs ready, make sure they're on your yoga mat so it's nice and sturdy. And remember that it's a chair without arms, and if you're shorter like me, you want to kind of come forward a tiny bit so that your feet are flat right under your knees. And if you're taller, it doesn't matter so much, you can be a little further back. But once you're ready, let the palms face up, center the crown right over the tailbone, and we're actually going to start with some alternate nostril breathing. But before we even get into that, we're going to do some 1-to-2 ratio breath for those of you who maybe don't have much experience with alternate nostril breathing. So the Sanskrit name for it is Anuloma Viloma, which I always think is fun to say. Okay, try to inhale for a 4 count and exhale for an 8 count, right? So it's going to be like this. Inhale, fill your belly, fill your chest, fill your throat, hold for a second, and then exhale for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And that whole count, you're exhaling. All right, let's try it. Inhale, fill up for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it. Good. Exhale with control. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. One more time. Inhale, fill up for 4, 3, 2, 1, and hold. And with control, exhale. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Excellent. So not only is this very good because it releases a lot of feel-good endorphins like serotonin and oxytocin, it really kind of cools and calms the nervous mind, any stress relieving, any of that cortisol, right? It kind of flushes that out. Let's try the alternate nostril breathing now. With your right thumb, you're going to want to plug up your right nostril, and it's your ring finger that's going to work in plugging and unplugging your left nostril. These other 2 fingers are just kind of tucked down. So this is called Vishnu Mudra. All the hand positions are called mudras. Thumb is covering the right nostril. Inhale through the left side for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. Both nostrils are plugged at this point. Good. We're just going to do a short hold for the first. Right exhale. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Right inhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Close both. Hold. Good. Left exhale. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Left inhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. Right exhale. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Right inhale. 4, 3, 2, 1, and hold. Try to keep that right shoulder relaxed the whole time you're doing this. Good. Left exhale. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. So for those of you who want to try the full gamut, it's inhale for 4, hold for 16, exhale for 8, right? Inhale 4, hold 16, exhale 8. So in other words, it's a 1 to 4 to 2 ratio. I hope that makes sense. Those of you who maybe want to try it a little gentler, let's try it now. Inhale left side for 3, 2, 1. Exhale 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 from the other nostril. Same nostril, inhale, 3, 2, 1, and hold. Switch nostrils, exhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last round, left inhale, 3, 2, 1, and hold. Good. Right exhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Right inhale, 3, 2, and 1, and hold. And left side exhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Very good. So by now the right shoulder's feeling a little tense from just kind of having it up like that for so long. Go ahead and roll your shoulders. Inhale, draw them up to the ears. And then exhale back and down. And let's just do that 2 more times, make it feel really good. Inhale, draw it up. And then exhale back and down. And last time, inhale. And then exhale. And while we're here, let's go ahead and do our wrists, interlace. Let's do our nice figure 8s. These are always good. You're really bending into the wrists as you're sending a lot of prana, a lot of breath into them, right? Inhale. Prana means breath, but it means so much more than just the exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide. Prana means life force. So you're not just moving the breath into various places of your body, you're actually moving chi, you're moving energy. That's why often you'll hear me say, flood the wrists with prana, right? Good. Switch directions. Breathe in. Exhale, flushing all the stagnant chi out as you're warming up the muscles, the joints. So good. And then shake it out. For this next one, let's continue with our feet for a little bit. We're going to scooch all the way back. Hold on to the edge of your chair. Lift your feet up. Kind of like you're like a little kid sitting in a chair, right? The heels are clicking like Dorothy, and then we're going to open everything out, including the inner thighs, so you're getting this really nice kind of almost first position situation here. And then you're going to zipper back up. Inhale, peel everything open. Exhale, zipper everything back up. And go ahead and keep fanning it open and shut for a couple more breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And then the next time you're nice and open like a mermaid fin, go ahead and swish shut. Maybe just the big toes kiss. If you can kiss all 10 toes like a little prayer pose with your feet, go for it. Just do the best you can. A couple more of these. Breathe with it. Make it feel good. Full range of motion. Inhale. Ankles feeling great. Really warming up. Excellent. Good. And then come back forward. And now we're going to strengthen the ankles and the feet. So we're going to come forward. The hands are on the hips. You're sitting up really nice and tall. The feet are right under the knees. You're going to start to peel the inner edge of the right foot off the ground, pressing the outer edge firmly down into the ground. Maybe your torso's even over your lap and you're pulsing. Good. Now inner edge presses down, outer edge is peeled off the ground. As you do this, notice that you don't only feel the muscle groups around the ankles and calves and shins strengthening, but you're also feeling it in your knees, right around your knees, around the abductors, the inner and outer muscles around your thighs, and you're feeling it in the hip, all the way up there. Not only is this very good for the joints, but it's also very good to strengthen the bones. So this is very good for bone density. Let's just do a couple more rounds. Getting the legs nice and strong. Good, so good for this time. Hopefully we're getting out now as it's getting warmer. We're just kind of going outside, walking around during this quarantine, right? Okay, and then just kind of drum that out. And take the other foot, outer edge pressing down, pulsing into it. Take it easy if this doesn't feel so good. You don't have to push so hard. The beauty of this one is you really can control where that edge is, where you're getting a good benefit from it without strain. You're totally in control. That really goes for the whole practice. Take another breath or two, really pressing if it feels good to do so. Feel it in the hip, feel it in the knees. For another breath. Good. And then drum it out to release that. This next one, we did this on the first week. We're just gonna warm up the knees a little bit, get some blood circulating there. Again, the direction is important. You're using the palms of your hands and you wanna go down on the outsides, in through the center, and up through the middle. So in other words, your left hand is going clockwise while your right hand is going counterclockwise, right? It looks like this. Breathe with it. Use your biceps, really use your muscles. Take a deep breath in. On your exhale, swish it out. Good. Inhale. Exhale. Right? Breathe. And out. Two more. People who do a lot of biodynamics do this. Very good for joints. Good. And then shake that out. So the arms are feeling kind of a little sore maybe from that. So let's squeeze out some of the lactic acid buildup, starting from the biceps, moving down the forearms, through the wrists and fingers. This is a nice little class favorite. It's a little massage. Quite nice. Good. Maybe just twice or 3 times until everything feels really open and good. And you can really feel the difference in the arms. Go ahead and do the other side. Just loosening up those forearms, wrists, hands, biceps, all the way down. Last one. Good. This next one is a nice invigorating one. If you have a bit of a rotator cuff constriction, you don't have to go quite so high. The other option you can do is you can do, so it's a little bit of a Kundalini yoga exercise. It's a nice way to invigorate the body and promote a lot of nice health for the lungs and the endocrine system. So the palms are gonna face up. We're rounded to begin. And as we inhale, we're gonna arch the back. And it's like we're splashing holy water over us, right? And then exhale down. Let's do this 6 times. So it's a bit vigorous like this. And as you're doing this, think about drawing the energy up from the base of the spine to the crown. Good. You can stop here or just do a few more if that feels really good. Again, if you're modifying, maybe it looks like this. Last one. Good, so that's a lot of chi. Let's let our palms face up, close the eyes, let that chi settle. Big, slow inhale, fill the belly, fill the chest. Exhale, feel the chest fall, feel the belly draw in. Good, inhale, fill from the bottom up. And then exhale, empty from the top down. Everything is relaxed, muscles like they're dissolving into warm sand. One more big breath in. Ooh, so nice. And then exhale. Good, starting to really feel all the endorphins, right? Good. Okay, so we're gonna do a little spinal twist next. So what you wanna do is you wanna scoot all the way to the back of your chair. This is kind of a big chair. If you're shorter like me, you want to kind of like tuck your toes in, press the balls of the feet and the toes down so that your quads are really engaged. If you're taller, you probably can just plant your feet really flat on the ground. The next thing you want to do is hold the edge of the chair with your right hand, and with your left hand reach up and over slightly, right? Spread the fingers, maybe even look up if it's okay on the neck to do so. Feel your side body get really long. And then on the exhale, draw your crown back to center and drop that hand down to the outer thigh. With your other hand, reach back to the edge of the chair if your chair is a little shorter. If it's a little taller like mine, you might have to kind of weave your hand in there, but you want to have your hands firmly gripping the edge of the chair. Crown is right over the tailbone. Inhale, crown is lifted tall. Exhale, press the outer edge of this thigh away from you, and maybe the head even spirals a little further back to look all the way behind you. Every inhale, feel your length in your spine. Good. Every exhale, maybe twist a little deeper if it feels like a good juicy stretch and there's zero strain. 3 more breaths here. Spinal twists are not only very good for spine health, but also really good for digestion. Good. Beautiful. 1 more. Big breath here. Exhale. Inhale, and this time exhale, come back to center. Before we do the other side, let's scooch forward. Feet are right under the knees, hands on the lap, and then just do a few cat-cow stretches, make sure everything feels nice and open. Inhale, you're arching and you're looking up and you're sticking your chest out. On your exhale, you're rounding, you're toning your belly in, and your chin is down to chest. Go ahead and do this 3 more times. Make it feel good in your spine, good in your body. Good. Inhale. Exhale, and then once more. Make it nice. Full expression. Great, and then again, scooch back. Toes really hook down, quads engaged, right arm sweeps up. Grab the edge of the chair. Lean over a little bit. Feel the fingers spread. Inhale, pulse into it, side body getting nice and long. And then as you draw the crown back to be centered over your tailbone, reach down and grab that opposite thigh, that left thigh. As you inhale, lift the crown up. As you exhale, grab the edge of the chair. Hopefully yours isn't as awkward as mine is. Good, and every inhale you're growing tall, crown is lengthening, and then every exhale you're holding on to the edge of the chair and you're twisting into it. Nice juicy stretch, just like the other side. Deep breath in from the belly, fill the chest, fill the throat. Exhale, press this thigh away, feel the juicy rinse for your digestive system and spine. Good, keep breathing for 3. So nice. 2. Good, and 1 more. Deep breath in. On your exhale, release. Same thing. Come scoot forward, feet flat, hands on the lap, couple cat-cows. If you'd like to add a little bit more to these cat-cows, you could certainly continue just doing this, or hold on to the edge of your seat and then spiral around, right? Still point A to point B, but you're just taking a nice circular movement to get to each point. So the sides of the vertebrae, sides of the discs are getting very supple. They're getting a lot of good blood, heat, and movement. Switch directions. Very good for spine health. 3. And 2. And 1. Good. We're going to come up to standing next. So when you're ready, you just want to take the edge of the chair and just put it off to your side. That's all. You want the chair a good 12 to 18 inches from you. And you're standing nice and sturdy with your feet hip-width distance apart or a little wider. Let's start with our hands on our hips for this one. And you're going to just set your gaze a little bit higher than eye level. See if you tend to push your feet on the outer edges a little more than the inner edges. In other words, do you tend to roll out right? You'll feel it slightly. If that's the case, make sure you're evenly pressing down on your feet. Maybe the inner edge is a little more than you normally would, just to compensate. Feel the belly pit pull into the spine so your tailbone slightly moves down and your core is engaged. With the hands on the hips, the gaze set, go ahead and just kind of lean forward in the balls of the feet and the toes, and then lean back into the heels. So it's really subtle. You might not even notice much movement, but you'll feel it. Moving forward, and the chair's right there if you need it, right? You could even hold on to it if need be. Finding your balance, finding agility, making your feet and ankles work a little here. Let's just do this for another breath or two. Good. If you want to challenge, lift off of the heels, push the toes down, balls of the feet. Also notice here if you tend to splay out. Keep the inner thighs kind of squeezing in, right? And then the heels root and the toes lift. This is just if you want a little more of a challenge. Good. Certainly you can hold on to the chair. It's not even considered cheating. If this is still too easy, try to add a little movement side to side. You really want to sharpen the reflexes. In the winter, I always tell my seniors, there's so much ice around. So when we sharpen our reflexes like this, it helps us not fall. Good. I think falling is still the #1 leading cause of death, which is crazy. Okay. I'm going to start towards the back of our chair, back of our mat, and the chair is kind of in front of us, so that when we step forward into the pose, the chair is right in line with us. Crown of the head right over the heel. Gaze is set higher than eye level. Let's come right into our tree pose. The foot can be below the knee or above it, but the knee is hinged open to your side. Belly button is centered forward at your 12 o'clock. This might be plenty if you want a little challenge. Both hands on the hips, hands in front of the heart. Or maybe the arms are even raised up. Anywhere that you place the foot is fine. You can even have the foot pressing into the inner thigh. This is definitely more challenging. Don't feel like you need to. A good modification is heel propped up against the inner ankle. Maybe more appropriate if we're just slowly gaining our balance. 3 more breaths here. Good. Feel free to move around, see what's comfortable. Make it kind of like part of the practice to oscillate a little bit in and out of the pose. Don't feel bad if you come out, right? Good. 1 more breath. And on this last one, maybe one arm or both arm reaches up, and then go ahead and release. Now this foot that we were just standing on, go ahead and swish it out a bit. Then send it behind you and you're on the knuckles and the heel swishes out a bit. That should feel really nice. We don't have to switch the chair to the other side. Just go ahead and simply step into the other foot now. Because the chair is away enough from us that even if we're opening up towards it, we have enough room to kind of clear the chair, right? Foot below or above the knee, any place is fine. Hands are set. Gaze is set. We are breathing here in tree pose. Inhale. Exhale. Certainly one of the silver linings of all this is the earth is getting a nice breath with all the cars off the road, right? A few less carbon emissions, and all the trees are certainly taking a breath, right? Let's go ahead and extend for a last and final big inhale. Make it feel good. And then on your exhale, release. Now this foot that you were standing on, swish that out. Make sure that ankle feels good again. And then send that foot behind and you're on the knuckles and you're just swishing the heel a little side to side. Good. Let's do a little side body stretch. That always feels good. Feet together. Let one hand be on the chair and the arm that's not on the chair is going to sweep up and over. But first, really pull the belly pit in towards the spine. Make sure the chest is lifted. Crown is right over the heel, and then swish up and over. Now my right arm is up, so my right heel is gonna press down, and I'm gonna really kind of pulse into that hip, make it feel good. Fingers spread. One more big inhale. Excellent, and then exhale, release. To do the other side, you don't even have to move your chair, just turn around. It's okay if your back's to your computer screen for a second there, right? Belly pit in, tailbone down, and reach up and over. Feel yourself stamp that left heel down as the left arm reaches up and over. Breathing, or vice versa. Excellent. One more big inhale. And then exhale. So the side body's a little more open here. That should feel good. Okay, for this next one, you want a chair facing towards you. So in other words, the seat of the chair facing towards you. But if this is a bit too much of having your head upside down, you could flip the chair around and have the tall edge of the chair, and you can still do down dog without it having to be such a deep stretch. And of course, if you're more advanced, you would not use the chair at all if you know what you're doing just on the mat. All right, let's kind of try some sun salutations. So feet are hip width distance apart or more. Nice sturdy base to start with. Belly pit pulling in, and when you're ready, inhale, stretch your arms up. And on your exhale, let the shoulders sink into their sockets gently and the head come to neutral. Take a deep breath in, feel as your tailbone is rooting, that the chest is opening, maybe the chin lifting, fingers spreading. Exhale, feel your heels pressing down, calves bright, so in other words, foundation and roots deep. On your inhale, your wings expansive upwards, good. On your exhale, hands in front of the heart. So let's start. Inhale, reaching up. Opening. On your exhale, take a deep forward fold, or if you're working with the chair, just come to about here. On your inhale, lifting to flat back, the elbows straighten, the shoulders are right over the wrists, and the feet step back into a bit of a plank or a high push-up. And you want to drop the hips just until the crown to heels through the hips, all one nice diagonal line. Strong in the arms, very good. Weight bearing here for bone density. Breathe into the arms for 3, if you can. Good, 2. Nice, last one. Core is activated, very good. And then step the feet in. Remember that you're the captain of the sea, so if something's a little too much, feel free to modify. Bend the knees a little bit. Let the fingers creep forward and let the head between the arms, crown in a nice alignment. Good. If you have pretty open hamstrings, you could straighten the knees, but not if that means you're going to round the upper back, right? And that's why a little bend in the knees is okay. It's all about the extension here. Take another 2 long breaths here in your modified down dog. Last one, big inhale. Exhale, press, very good, and then step forward again, not all the way, but almost. Feet hip width distance apart. Little flat back stretch, so hands under the shoulders, look to the front edge of the chair, and on your exhale, bending the knees a little round as you roll up to standing, 1 vertebra at a time, letting the head come up last. Reach through the arms as the heels begin to press, belly pit pulling in. Exhale, shoulders drop into their sockets. 1 more bright inhale. Open the fingers apart from each other. And on your exhale, hands in front of the heart. Let's just do 1 more nice sun salutation. On your inhale, expanding upwards, feeling good, filling up with life. And then on your exhale, swan diving down, coming with a flat back, palms right under your shoulders, little flat back here, step it back, high push-up, or a plank, hips dip, but not too much, crown to heel, 1 straight line, strong in your arms, if you can, for 3 breaths, core is toning, good, 2, beautiful, 1 more, inhale, exhale, step the feet forward, the feet are firmly down, the heels are down, the fingers creep forward, And it's like you're sitting back as your head hangs between your arms. Breathe here as long as it feels good for 3. Very nice. 2. Deep breaths. Good. 1 more. Inhale, feel the extension, and then step forward halfway. Little flat back. Gaze forward, feel the stretch, and then exhale, fold as you release. Knees bend, rolling up 1 vertebrae at a time. Good. As the heels root down, feel the belly pit pull in, and the arms stretch up, fingers expansive, palms face each other. Exhale, hands in front of the heart. Last thing we'll do here in standing will be with our strap. So go ahead and find your strap. And you want to kind of take this slack about hip width distance apart between your hands. You're also holding on to it so your palms are facing up. But then as you go to move your elbows straight, your knuckles are going to roll into each other. But the most important thing, your feet are hip width distance, belly pit is pulling in, tailbone slightly down. So in other words, we're not going to overarch our low back, right? As the belly pit's pulling in and the tailbone is down, the chest is lifted. And as those knuckles punch down, maybe the elbows straighten, knuckles roll to face each other. You're really squeezing in that space between the shoulder blades, right? And then inhale, fill up from the belly to the throat. Exhale, squeeze all the tension out of the shoulders. This is so nice. Good. Another breath or 2. Maybe the chin is lifted up slightly. Last one. Exhale, release. And 1 final nice down dog to help release what we just did there. Feel that nice little stretch for another breath. We're going to end with ragdoll. If ragdoll is not a good one for you because you don't like going upside down, then you're going to want to come up now. If you're okay with ragdoll, grab opposite elbows, head hangs, knees are very bent, and then just go ahead and rock it out side to side, really therapeutically for the low back. Make it feel nice as you're using gravity to just kind of open up. You're using movement, and you're using breath. Flood prana in, inhale. Good. On your exhale, feel the release and all 10 fingers drop, knees bend more, and then make a nice like pendulum movement, like you're a grandfather clock pendulum, right? Good. Bend the knees and then a little reverse swan dive. So in other words, lift the chest just to get over that little sensitive area, and then drip down the head and the shoulders again. So now it's kind of like a zombie ragdoll. And you're letting 1 ear flop to 1 shoulder and then the other. Make that feel good as you release all the tension out through the side neck. Another deep breath in. Exhale back to center. Let the head come up last. And for the last time, as the heels root, all 10 fingers reach. And the hands come in front of the heart. 1 little om here before we come back down to the ground to end. Inhale. Good. So in yoga we use breath and body alignment to create alignment in the body, right? But the sound vibration is another way to create alignment in the body. Think of it like a tuning fork or like the ringing of a bell. Okay, so we're going to come down to the ground. Take as long as you need to lower yourselves down. And we're just going to end kind of simply today. You can also end in seated, sitting in your chair. When you're ready, let's take the feet again wide and the arms wide and just kind of windshield wiper your knees like we did at the very beginning of class. Making sure everything feels good and everything is nice and open for another breath or 2. the belly, fill the chest. Exhale. Good. Last one. Tend to the knees. And let's just take a second to let go of everything we've just done in our practice so far today. Take a deep belly breath in. On your exhale, feel as if your limbs are dissolving into warm sand. Really let go of the micro tension in your arms and your legs. Take a deep breath in. Feel the muscles in your face dissolve, around your jaw, around your ears. Good. Good. Let's do one more thing for core, and then we're going to end with Shavasana. Okay. If you are a beginner like me, you're going to have your hands behind your head in a little pillow or your arms by your sides, and you're just going to have one leg up in the air as your low back plugs down, and you're just going to breathe for 3 or 4 breaths, right? Maybe you need another option that's a little more difficult, in which case your low back plugs down as you lower that same leg, lift it up. Lower and lift. If you need a third option, which is a little more challenging, both legs are up, but it's still just the right leg that's going to lower and lift. I like having my hands behind my head, but it's really a personal choice. If the rotator cuff, again, doesn't feel so good, arms by your side is fine. Some people who really like to challenge maybe will even throw a little hop of the hips up and then plugging that low back down. Good. When you're done with that side, make your choice for the other side. Now what I'm demonstrating again is just the hardest choice. You might have your right foot down for this. And you might not even be lowering and lifting that left leg. Maybe it's just staying frozen in space as you plug your low back down. We're all building strength safely and what's appropriate to ourselves. Good. Go ahead and release. The last pose I'd like to do with you, you might have to have 2 blocks, one to support each outer knee, soles of the feet together. If you don't have a block, you can roll up a few towels and have them there. People who might not need it will feel more benefit from just letting your knees fall, letting gravity do the work. So go ahead and take your time setting up, folded up blankets, blocks, or nothing at all. 2 or 3 breaths, inhale. Exhale. If you are using the block, it might look something like that. Maybe only one side needs the support. You might need something a little bit firmer, taller, right? Kind of do what works. All different levels, right? Okay, and then if you want to use a towel, there's also that option. Good. When you're done with your last breath, inhale. Exhale, and if there's any last little movement, I always end with a yogi's choice in my classes. Any last movement before Shavasana, come into it. If you need a blanket for Shavasana, grab it. If you want to do your legs up your chair, that can be quite nice. I'm more of a purist when it comes to yoga. So traditionally, you're just laying on the ground, feet flopped open, palms face up, not much fuss. Take a couple breaths, letting yourself just sink heavy down. This is the best part of yoga, by the way. Try never to skip it. They call it the nectar of our practice. Big inhale through the nose, fill the belly, fill the chest. And starting with the feet on the exhale, feel your toes and your feet as if they're sinking into warm sand. Good. Inhale. On your next exhale, feel your ankles, shins, and calves as if they're releasing their micro tension. Good. Inhale, fill up. Exhale, feel your knees, thighs, and hips as if they're sinking into warm sand. Good. Now your legs, your feet are completely relaxed. Heavy, heavy. Beautiful. Inhale. And the sound of the breath is like the sound of the ocean. As you exhale, feel your whole torso, shoulders to hips, all along the back, letting go completely. Scanning all the little muscles along there. Feeling the belly and the chest completely relaxed. Deep breath in. And then exhale, the whole torso completely relaxed. Beautiful. Keep your arms heavy, hands and fingers soft. Good. Inhale. Exhale, arms, hands, fingers completely relaxed. Feel the neck and the shoulders soft. All the little muscles there relaxed. Feel the head heavy. Feel the muscles around the jaw relaxed. Feel the muscles around the face so relaxed that the sinuses feel more open. And the face feels soft. Take a deep belly breath in. As you exhale, the whole body from head to toe is completely relaxed. If there's any organs you want to bring a little chi to, on your inhale, imagine flooding them with some nice bright vitality, right? Some nice chi. And on your exhale, imagine flushing out any stagnant, sluggish chi, any energy that's stuck there. Purifying those organs. Inhale, bringing vitality in. Exhale, flushing them out of any stagnant chi. Strong, we are vital, we are strong. And then let your mind rest at this moment. So the interesting, beautiful thing about Shavasana is that normally when we're this relaxed, we are asleep. But instead we are bright and we are awake. We're not letting ourselves fall asleep mentally. And so what this does is it trains strong minds that can be calm and relaxed, in control of their emotions and stress, right? But completely awake and aware. Good. Take another breath or two in this nice meditative state of Shavasana. Calm, relaxed, but clear-headed. Stay as long as you want. When you're ready, you're going to start wiggling fingers and toes, and then take a nice stretch overhead, thumbs hook, toes point, low back plugs. And as you exhale, pull the knees into chest, and maybe rocking a little, eventually rolling over to one side. Take your time here. Feel good. Feel all your endorphins. Take a deep breath in. And now, like you're giving yourself one last good snuggle. Really getting that love hormone flowing is actually very good for mental health, right? Keeping those endorphins going. You don't have to end in cross-legged seated like I'm doing. You can certainly come back to seated on your chair or have a bolster to lift your hips up. Find a comfortable seated position that works for you. Once you are comfortable in your seated position, feel your belly nice and loose, your chest lifted, your crown centered over your tail. Take a breath or two and feel really in control, strong mind here, settled in your seated pose. So there's a saying in the yogic world that a lot of the yoga poses and practice was developed only so that very dedicated students could sit for very long periods of time in seated meditation without their bodies feeling aches and pains. It makes sense to me. So really it's a practice towards fortifying not just strong body but strong mind. It's like a peaceful warrior practice. So we're going to end here with our 3 nice ohms, just kind of resounding in the sound practice of attuning with the macrocosm, right? Bringing our hands in front of our hearts when we're ready. Take a deep belly breath in. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. I always end with the peace, peace, peace. Thank you guys so much. Take care, stay healthy, be well.